Hey guys, Fuzzy here. Before I talked about people who were either an asset or they were a liability. And maybe start thinking, people don't know what group that they might be in. They might know deep down, but in their mind they might think that they're still useful for something. And some people are, even if you're in a wheelchair. I mean, you could be someone who goes around and collects various forms of books, maybe books on how to repair something, how to live in the woods, how to build a log cabin, how-to books. Now this guy here, that's old Teddy Roosevelt. And I just thought that I would put that up there, that you would know, even back then, they were smart enough to know that Americans always took care of themselves and they were self-sufficient. Now, I wasn't all that. I always hunted. I trapped mink, muskrat, coon, things like that. Did my own skinning, deer, things like that. As an outdoorsman, I rated myself pretty high, maybe higher than I probably should have. But I always like to make my ego feel good. But anyway, beside all the rubbish I just gave you, I got custody of my kids. I had 3 kids, 5, 6, and 7. All they could do, they could tie their shoes and dress themselves, and that was it. Well, my cooking sucked. Hamburgers were done on the outside, raw in the middle. It left a lot to be desired. So we ate out for almost 2 years, and then money got tight. They slowed down our hours at work, and my sister sent me a cookbook. I have 6 sisters, and they all got together. They sent me a cookbook and some pots and pans and whatnot I needed. And after I started cooking, I never looked back. I made my own turkey stuffing, stuffed my own turkey, made my own pies, pie crust. Started making homemade bread, and I was on my way. So that was my big jump into being self-sufficient. Sewing, my kids. I had some holes in my hunting socks, so I decided, well, I'll just sew them up. So I got some thread, tied a knot at the end, pulled it through, tied another knot. And what really made them laugh is because I used patches off of a pair of Levi's, and that's what I used for patching material. And they laughed and laughed. They were rolling on the floor. Yeah, well. Anyway, you got to learn skills. That's how I started learning skills. I was put into a predicament where I had to. I didn't have a wife, it's just me and 3 kids, and that's how it was. Now, talk about getting prepared. I was making bread. No, it wasn't bread. Pie crust. I was making pie crust. Well, I got all this up, this 3 cups of flour and this and that, and so on. But anyway, I added the salt and the flour, but I didn't use vegetable shortening. I used that liquid shortening, I forget what it's called. But you got to use stuff like Crisco to make it come out right. And if I'd have read the book instead of going through it like I knew everything, it would have been better. I made my own turkey stuffing, the chopped onions and the diced celery and the butter, the salt, the pepper, the poultry seasoning, hot water, meatloaf. Oh yeah. Hey, I was on a roll, buddy. Bread. I still make homemade bread. I ran out of bread pans one time. I made so much bread dough up, and I had a couple old tomato cans or something like that. Maybe high C drink, I don't know. Cut the lid out, washed it out real good, greased it up, put it in there, and the kids got home from school. They had brown bread, and I thought that was really unique. Now, I want everybody to understand this thing about the assets and stuff. If you have skills, and skills is the most important thing, even if you're by yourself, you've got to have skills. Let's see, I'm a machinist. I can machine stuff with, lathes and mills and all that good stuff. Or OD grinders, it doesn't matter. I can run them. I can work on cars. I can work on farm machinery. I've done my own brickwork. I put my own water in. Septic tank, no, I didn't do that. I had that done. I can do my own electrical stuff. Get some people, have them go out, assign one person to collect arms, let another one collect reloading equipment and ammunition components. Another one could stockpile trade goods, and even if you're in a wheelchair, you could collect how-to books and be your group's survival librarian. There's nothing you can't do if you get off your butt. Now, just because you might be able to shovel food in your mouth while you're sitting on the couch doesn't qualify you as a heavy equipment operator. Stay away from the good time Charlies of the world. Another thing I want to run by you, in the last video I was talking about it's time to pull up our big girl panties. Now that phrase was coined by a friend of mine, Southern Belle Prepper. Now she's no longer putting out videos, but she did put out a video about pulling up your big girl panties. I might put that in the video as a link. But that's where the big girl panties phrase came from. I didn't coin it, she did. Good friend. But you've got to choose people carefully. I mean, there's a lot of people who will try to get into your life just to stay alive. The will to stay alive is enough ambition, I would think, to make people prepare. But they want to sit on their butt and let somebody else do the work. And that don't fly. You're either an asset or you're a liability. Let's see, another thing I wanted to touch on. I lost my train of thought. It happens. You've got to get the skills. Learn them. I mean, if you know how to start a fire with flint and steel or with a bow, drill, something like that, you got a skill. You learn something to keep you alive. I took up canning because I didn't have anybody around, and thank God for the Purbane channel, Linda's Pantry, and Southern Belle. I learned to can with an all-American canner. And like I said, you've got to, don't be afraid. Being afraid will stop you in your tracks and you'll never get anything done. You'll end up dead. Don't want you to be dead. I want you to learn skills. You learn skills, prepare, so you can become an asset to everybody. Oh gee whiz, what was I? There was something else on my mind too, and it's just at the moment it's kind of missing my brain, and I'll think about it probably when I'm done with the video. Just get out there and do something for yourself. Don't expect others to do it for you. It's not going to work that way. If I zoom this back down. Long time ago, here's some stuff, people. How to cannibalize a car. Stockpile tools and raw materials for a survival situation. Let's see what else is in here. Who knows? It's been so long since I saved this stuff. There's sign language. Making your own blades. Making soap. Oh yeah, I made soap too. Yep, I made soap. I made homemade candles. 7-stick jerky. Reed-rise food or cannibalism. From pelts to mitts. Gives you all the lowdown. Like I said, cannibalize a car. Making a gourd container. What else we got? I'll make medicine out of rocks. Home remedies for health and survival. Medicine in your pantry. Onion medicine. Cabins in the woods, how to build them. Bullet alternatives, makeshift ammo makes sense. Foraging for survival. Survivalists want to know. Ooh. Living off the land or pipe dreams. There's There's so much stuff, people. You need to get on the bandwagon here. I can't do it for you. This is one of these things that you have to do yourself. But you can't be intimidated by not doing anything. That's the worst thing. That's what will kill you. Thanks for watching.